It's in business, sports, bodybuilding. You have to reach the peak, whatever the sport is. When I began building myself up and saw what it did for me, I thought that this message should go out to the world.
Today, bodybuilding is a billion-dollar fitness industry. Where did it all begin? The name Weider is synonymous with fitness and health.
Right. Okay. So how to get people off the phone?
Joe Weider is credited as the founder of the modern bodybuilding movement.
I always enjoy it. You know, when you love something, you just love something. It grows on you.
Well, if it wasn't for Joe, I wouldn't be here. I mean, Joe made my whole life. I mean, I read the magazine. Joe created the magazine. Joe was the father of bodybuilding. Joe invented the sport. He created the Miss Olympia competition.
I was a skinny kid. We lived in a rough neighborhood, and there was a lot of fighting going on. And because of that, I've had to find some ways to solve my problem. When people saw how I improved and how much stronger I got, all my friends would ask me, and I would get letters from outside of the city, how to get strong. But when the letters got more and more, I've decided maybe I would print a newsletter.
In 1940, along with his brother Ben, Joe created a self-published newsletter devoted to fitness, Your Physique.
When I told my mother I was going to publish some magazines, I must have been around 17 or so, she thought I was crazy. She says, "You going to be a publisher?" But eventually we got it all together.
It was mimeographed in our own home and put together and brought to the newsstands to be sold.
And I got renewals. Buddies subscribed, and I began to build up a little mail order list.
And then we started to manufacture barbells and chest expanders and benches.
So when I began to sell the barbells, I was making profit. So I took the profit from my magazines and the barbells, pooled it together, and published better and better magazines. Today it's called Muscle and Fitness.
From humble beginnings in Montreal, Canada, their grassroots enterprise has mushroomed into a multi-million-dollar empire that provides fitness-related products to over 60 countries throughout the world.
This is a billion-dollar industry. Most people don't really understand that.
Today, the nutrition and supplement industry is thriving. Inspired by bodybuilders, the fitness craze has taken the public by storm. From protein powders to fat burners, vitamins and amino acids, the science of nutrition has become as important as the workout itself.
When you get involved in bodybuilding, you want to compete, you learn so much about your body, about every muscle, food, calories, everything.
Most of the general public think that bodybuilders are just like stupid muscle heads.
You can't really turn pro and be stupid at the same time.
Although it takes years to train, it is the last 4 months before competition that are the most extreme in terms of nutrition and sacrifice. This is when the dieting begins.
Nowadays, people are smarter too with competing, where you don't starve yourself of everything. You have little bits of things that to maintain not having to go over the edge and binge.
It's an incredible amount of work, and they have to get obsessed with themselves in order to do that. They are the masterpiece, so they have to be obsessed with themselves.
Everything the bodybuilder ingests is taken into consideration for gaining muscle or losing fat.
I'm gonna go buy my food for the week since I'm preparing for the Muscle Mania. Gotta eat.
The off season is basically trying to gain as much weight to get as big as you possibly can. So then when you start your pre-contest diet, basically you're dwindling down, trying to save as much muscle, but at the same time you're trying to take off as much fat as you possibly can.